Hi, good evening. This is Ashish. Welcome to the MentorCart live show session on digital marketing strategy for early stage startups. And today we have experienced speaker and mentor, Mr. Adil, over 30 years of experience in sales and marketing. I think so it's more than enough for learning today. In terms of, and thank you very much for him to give us a time. Today's topic, as we discuss about that on a digital marketing strategy for startups, we'll take it up with him, and we will do a lot of discussions around that how the startups can utilize the or implement the digital marketing strategy in early stage, so that get the successful. And to have opening remark on that, I would like to take a time of yours on in terms of that. As we know that maximum of more number of startups get fail in initial 5 years time, and there is always a role of maybe a wrong marketing or a sales pitch, and we would like to know from Mr. Adil. So let me welcome him on the screen. Thank you, Mr. Adil, for giving us the time to come on this live session today on digital marketing. And I think so not only startups, digital marketing is becoming so just want to take an opening remark from you first before we go on to the show. That what do you think about, and what is your experience with early stage startups on the digital marketing space as such, or marketing space as such?
Right. Thank you. Thank you for having me on board, Ashish. Am I audible
Yes.
enough? Right. And hi to all the viewers there. Ashish, thanks for the wonderful introduction of yours also. And the question of yours, the early stage startups, what is my experience with them in the past, right? I would say that, the past 3 years, ever since I've been doing the business mentoring and also consulting in the field of digital marketing, I
Right.
have really got good insight into the startup ecosystem, different levels. The pre-early stage, early stage, and the scale-up stage. So what I've noticed is that among all the early stage startups, 70 to 80% of them actually need digital marketing support, right? That is
Okay.
one. Okay, that is my experience and the reading out of all the mentoring sessions that I've had and the support session that I've had on the digital marketing. Apart from that, what I also notice is, since it's an evolving industry, it's not a very old industry as the traditional and conventional industry. It is maximum 10 years old, 12 years old, where it all started with a terminology called SEO. Okay, there was no terminology called digital marketing at that time, right?
Right.
So from then it has evolved. But even today, I see that there is tremendous amount of lack of knowledge, in this field, and specifically with the founders, or the why founders alone. Even among the digital marketing community itself. So that is my reading. So if you look at, in India, the professional courses in the field of digital marketing have very recently been introduced. All right. So otherwise, there have been very short certification courses with the faculties or the institutions who are doing it with their limited knowledge in India. But now it is evolving. So even now there is a need for, especially since we are talking about the early stage startups, for the founders to actually know enough to either drive their in-house a team, or if they outsource, which is the case in most of the time, to drive the vendors in the right direction. And I see that that knowledge is lacking. Okay, most often it happens that because all of us have been there on online platforms, especially social media. So we believe that we know about online marketing. If we do a bit of social media posting, we believe that we know digital marketing, and that has been the case with many of them. But to really understand how this game works, how this game of visibility and ranking and then attraction and conversion works, it
Yeah.
requires more in-depth knowledge. Okay, not the technical knowledge, but at least the conceptual knowledge on what is the sequence and what is the importance of that. So that is what is my experience all through, and that is what I'm trying to address also.
Right, that's a very good point. Actually, my experience also in terms of when we meeting the early stage startups have been that okay, fine, create some social media posts, started creating that branding on the LinkedIn page or somewhere, and that's probably will bring the business. The most important thing is action, click to action, which user takes after watching your post or advertisement. Also, the audience selection is super critical. I'm saying when you are advertising and when you are sharing the social media post, definitely the audience selection is also super critical. Whom you are targeting, where are you targeting, which platform you are targeting, which user is also important. And the most important point which I wanted to discuss when I was talking to a couple of early stage startups, that they have a very limited budget or probably have no budget, right? Initially, when they want to create a brand or they want to create the presence, maybe they created a good product and they put it all their energy in that. And after that product is ready, maybe in MVP or whatever shape, and they want to make the world know that okay, I have something like that, and this is what going to help. This is how it is going to help. They lack. So, what is the advice for such startups of yours in terms of when very early stage when they want to know the world what they have? What is the best way of doing it?
Right. Yes. Very good question, Ashish. Um, the gone are the earlier days. Earlier days, it was much more difficult because the algorithms of the search engines, or let's say Google, used to only support people with deep pockets or rich businessmen. Their algorithms are such that if you bid higher for a particular keyword, you are shown on top or over the others.
Right.
Thankfully, they realize that with that algorithm, they're losing customers because it's not just the money. I mean, it's the substance of what the customer is looking for that matters. So when they realize this, they change their algorithms, and now it has become a level playing game.
Okay.
And which means that even if you don't have enough money, you still can score over the people who have more money and who bid higher. So I'll explain to that. So there is a concept that they have introduced in every platform where it's not just the bid amount. Like, for example, just a terminology which I think all founders can remember. When it comes to Google AdWords, there is a terminology called CTR, click-through rate, right? So what they have done with that is whoever is competent enough to improve and increase the click-through rate, okay, irrespective of how much he has bid, because that is not the only component, they will be shown above the one who has bid more than this person. How that is done is they actually take the combination of the quality score of your website, right? So that is where the competency comes in. So if you are able to provide a substance to the customer or what they are looking for in the short span of time, okay, and the user experience, everything counts in that. And the ad relevancy. So you drive the traffic through some ads, right? So the relevancy of that ad, the website, the quality of the website, and the bid amount, the combination of these three determines, how on top that you will reach. So it's not just the money game. So that is where the early startups, can win, provided they either teach the in-house team if they have. I mean, most often they don't. They outsource it or they try and do it themselves. They learn the tricks of these components of digital marketing, the tricks of the trade, and then apply that. Then they don't need to spend more. The whole idea of improvising on CTR is to reduce the spend and get more traction, and that is exactly what they look for.
Right. So as planned, Mr. Adil, that maybe what we can do, that we can have some opening thoughts from you in the form of presentation as we planned. So
Sure.
let me just share the screen of your presentation. Let me know when you want to move screen by screen, just and then I take it
Sure.
forward, because unfortunately the other side didn't work.
Yeah,
So
the sharing is not working from here.
That is something which is last minute. So let me just share.
Yeah, and it always happens, right? But
Yeah,
I'm sure
yeah.
we'll take care of that. Not a problem.
Yeah, so I have maybe are you okay? I just
Yeah.
put in the thing. I let me know when you're able
Yeah.
to see the.
Right, I'm able to see the presentation.
Okay.
Okay, so I'll start here, right? Okay, guys, good evening, good afternoon, good morning, depending on which part of the world that you are watching this presentation from. The objective of this presentation is essentially, I mean, of course, the 15 minutes is a very, very short, time to talk about the strategies, digital marketing strategies for early stage startups in details. But within this 15 minutes, what I'll do is I'll try and give you as much as possible so that you just pick that up. And if you are able to implement, execute even 20% of that, I'm sure you'll be able to do better than what you're doing right now. All right. So first, I think what we'll do is, while I'm sure all of you are aware of the advantages of digital marketing today, but for those who do not know, I just wanted to share the advantages. There are three distinct advantages of digital marketing, which is global reach in relatively small budget. So compared to the conventional or the traditional marketing, which is very expensive, in digital marketing with a small budget, I mean, you can actually reach out to the larger target audience. Then using the technology, there are so many tools that are available. The platforms have sharpened their features in such a manner that you can sharp target your audience. So you can choose, first of all, you define the persona of your clientele, the target audience, and then, as you know, I mean, the third-party platforms, whether it's Google, FB, LinkedIn, Insta, all of them have gathered so much information on each one of us that they know more about us than we know about ourselves, right? So similarly, they have categorized on their platform, so that you can choose once you have defined the persona of the target audience, you can choose from their demographics, from their interests, everything. I mean, age, gender, and actually narrow it down to such an extent that the spend what you do on the online promotion is not wasted, and it actually is, your ads are showcased to the right target audience. That is a big advantage of digital marketing. Then using many tools, you can actually work out the accurate ROIs of all the spend that you do. So these are the three distinct advantages that you have of digital marketing. Okay, and therefore it works very well for the startups in general, and specifically for the bootstrapped and startups with low budgets. So having understood the advantages, what I would like to do is, before going to the strategies, I want you to get a holistic picture, an overview of what goes under the umbrella of digital marketing, and what is the sequence actually that works in general. All right, because otherwise what happens is that I've noticed, I've experienced number of times, and I have personally, even before becoming a marketing professional or certified professional, when I used to run other businesses, I used to depend on SEO professional, pay him the money, and expect him to generate leads, and through which I expected to achieve targets, right? And that is what I've experienced. Most of the people do it today. Social media is active. That time it was not. But what we need to understand is that enough? And what is the sequence, and what is the significance of each of these components that gets you the results finally? So as founders, especially, you need to understand the criticality of this and set your expectations also accordingly, and drive your teams within or outside, in the right direction. So under the umbrella, it starts off with website or landing page or microsite, whatever you call it, right? Because that's the first point of contact. So website has to have the correct UI, UX, okay, for a feel-good factor when the visitor comes into your website. There's a long-lasting impression that you try and create. Then you have on-page SEO. So SEO has two parts. One is the on-page SEO. Second is the off-page SEO. In brief, since we don't have time, on-page SEO is nothing but the guidelines set by the search engines, essentially, for the website or the web pages to follow, because they have millions and billions of websites. How do they differentiate? So what they have said is, only if you follow these guidelines, then we will respect you and recognize you. So basically, the measure of this is, in short, ask your consultant or in-house team, what is the quality score of my website? Now, quality score of your website is determined through how best you have done your on-page SEO. So there are about 33 to 35 components that you need to activate or perform, and you get it. So any score out of 100, 85 plus, I think you are good. So there are audit tools which are available that will tell you, okay, where does your website start? So it's important to have that. And this particular, when I was talking about quality score, this is important not just for organic reach, but when you do the ad campaigns in organic part of it. I spoke about the CTR. Okay, it makes a lot of difference when there is a quality website. So quality website, ad relevancy, and the bid amount. So on-page SEO becomes extremely important, right? So having done that and being on the equal platform with others, how does search engines rate you or rank you better? Then they have said that we will rank you better if your presence on the digital platforms, other digital platforms, is more and more, right? So that is essentially called off-page SEO, this terminology. So there are about 15, 16 odd steps that you need to perform, where you submit a lot of articles, blog posts, press releases, forums you participate, Quora, blah, blah. There are about 15, 16 site submissions that you do. So off-page SEO, on-page SEO essentially gets the search engines to feel happy about you, respect about you, and you are ranked better and better. That is one side. On the other side, especially in Indian context, it is important that your target audience builds trust and confidence in you, right? And they will do that only when they see your presence widespread on various online platforms. And that is what off-page SEO provides you. So we all have the habit of just, there are very lucrative ads, lucrative offers. We click that, go, but we don't see the brand very, prominent. So what we do, we are skeptical. We come back and we go to Google. We type that brand name. Then we see their reviews or where all they are present. Now, off-page SEO, if you have done well, and then the visitor actually sees your presence everywhere, they develop the confidence and trust. They go back and call to action button they press. Okay, so conversion rate increases that way. Otherwise, remarketing cost increases. So in short, off-page SEO gets you permanency of ranking and develops confidence and trust among your target audience. Right, and same thing is done by social media. We all know that, right? It creates social proof. So you have all the social media handles created, accounts, and you start posting the valuable information about your products and services. So I'll not talk much about that. And then you have the email and SMS marketing. Now, email again is extremely effective way of marketing as of now. Most effective because it reaches the inbox of the people, right? Provided it is done well. Otherwise, you will end up in spam folders and you'll never be able to reach out to your. So there again, you need some expertise to tell you, I mean, how to design various emailers, how to write the subject line, how the copy is to be done, what value propositions to be given in a set of 3 to 5 emailers. All right, because so this is the organic part of this digital marketing, which is extremely important because we need to nurture the customer. We need to build value. We need to build credibility, right? So we need to perform all these things before we actually ask for a sale, purchase from the customer, right? It's as simple as that, entering into a pub or a restaurant, seeing a beautiful lady sitting there. Will you go and directly ask her to marry you? What would happen if you do that? You know that, right? A big slap you'll get. But instead, I mean, what you need to do is to go slowly pick up a conversation, offer a drink, initiate a interesting conversation, and then slowly it builds up. So nurture and then ask. There are more chances that the lady will say yes for your wedding proposal, right? So that is exactly the concept which works in this also. So organically you perform these activities, but these activities will never get you the time-bound achievement of targets. All of us work with aggressive targets, right? So what does? I mean, of course, after doing this, there will be some traction, there will be trickling in inquiries or conversion which happen, but never to the desired numbers that we have done. So therefore, we need to run paid campaigns, PPC as we call it, okay, paid pay-per-click advertisements for startups, early stage startups with small budgets, okay. And then as you grow, as you're able to spend more, do the media buying and participate in many other paid campaigns and things like that. So essentially, these inorganic campaigns clubbed with the organic efforts, okay, that integrated marketing solution will actually get you the desired result, time-bound desired results. Okay. Now, apart from this, you of course have referral marketing, you have influencer marketing to support you. Referral marketing, especially because it is a low investment and high impact, high returns area. Influencer marketing, if done through relationships, then it is a profitable proposition. Otherwise, influencer marketing could be an expensive proposition when you're trying to get to the celebrity or the influencer to endorse your product. But and similarly, there are others also, affiliate marketing and then personal brand building for especially the startups. Where founders, have to do their personal branding, and through that, they can get traction, and through that they can drive traffic to wherever they want. So the combination of this whole thing will get you the results. Okay, so therefore you need to set expectations. Organic will take a little time. Inorganic will get you results immediately. But without doing the organic, if you do the inorganic part of it, then your COCA, cost of customer acquisition, can be very high. For the simple reason that you have not built your reputation, brand, you have not built the credibility, and there will be a lot of bounce backs. And to lure them back, you spend more and more on remarketing. All right. So therefore, it is better to do the organic part very well and then go in for the inorganic to optimize on your spend. So this being the holistic picture. Okay. Now let me get on to these components of digital marketing. They rest on a backbone. Okay, while you perform those activities, it is extremely important. Like I have coined these 6 C's of digital marketing, and that is customer, community, content, creativity, contest, and conversion. So what is this? Customer, of course, you need to know your customer very well, right? everybody is my customer means, I mean, nobody is your customer. So based on what product, what services that you are offering, you need to define exactly what is the persona of your customer correctly. Okay. Then community. Where does this customer of yours reside? Where are they available? Which are platform they are available geographically and also the technologically? Are they available in FB? Are they available in LinkedIn? Are they in Pinterest? Are they this? So once you define where all this customer will be available, that communities you need to participate in. All right, and the way you participate is basically through content in different formats. It could be articles, it could be videos, it could be press releases, it could be participation in forum, blogs. So these contents have to be creative, because in the crowd of so much of postings, the contents available, how will you stand out? Just go back, Ashish. So you have to be creative on your contents. Okay, then how do you engage your customer? That is contests. So engage your customers through various quizzes, contests. Create some traction where they are pushed to actually react, and then you are able to collect databases. I mean, create forms, give some lucrative offers, let them submit those forms with some details of theirs. Okay, and then of course the ways you can convert them. Without converting, there is no sale, there is no business. So what are the various ways, manual and technological ways, that you can convert the business? So there are 6 C's that you need to remember and do it differently. Just make this as principle, that anything going out for any of those digital marketing components, they have to have all these components very well built in, and that can happen and can be improvised if you do a proper data analysis. And today in digital marketing, there are tools, fantastic tools that are available, right from Google Analytics to SEMrush to Ahrefs to many other, through which you can read the data and understand where your customer is coming from, who the customer is, and who's more active for your products and services. Therefore, altering your campaigns, okay, or changing your campaigns accordingly is very important. So this becomes the backbone. Yeah, Ashish, you can turn it on. Okay, now let's come directly to the point, and that is your digital marketing strategy. So let me start right from the bootstrap, completely low budget customers. Okay, while in the overall overview of digital marketing, I mentioned website. Now, if you are in such a situation, I mean, where it's very difficult for you to market while you are you hold good product and services, and you have a good product market fit. I think today, creating a website is no big deal at all. But I'm saying that even that is not required. If you create a landing page first, through your lead pages or any such service provider, just create a landing page. Landing page objective is to drive the customer to take action. While website is a junk box, like the website, you'll have all sorts of information about your products and services, your company, your people, everything. But since you are bootstrapped, create a landing page with that specific product or few products. Okay, give information and offers in that landing page. Create those forms asking the customer for a few questions to make it a serious customer or qualified lead, and prompt them to click it by offering them something which they can't resist. That much can be done. Now, having done that, you also to drive traffic to this landing page, just do these a few second phase activities parallelly, and that is build your personal brand. As founders, when we have started business, when we have started these startups, okay, we are passionate about something, right? So, we know our products and services, the markets, everything very well. Okay, so we will be in a position to give that value to the target audience by creating contents by ourselves. I mean, you can create a video. Today, it is not it is not very difficult to create your own video and post it on YouTube. Have webinars, podcasts, okay, where you are completely dropping the valuable information about your industry, about your products, about your services, about the client's interests. Okay, so that way you will get traction, and through that you generate the traffic to your landing pages, store, or whatever you call it. Then, of course, you will create everybody has a FB page, but create community page you create, where again you're building, you're inviting your people with similar interest to come, and there you share information, let others share information. Okay, there is a kind of engagement that happens, and that is the platform. As it builds up, you can post your offers there. It's all organic. You're not spending anything out there, right? And then you define. LinkedIn becomes very important, okay, organically at least, because all the investors, customers, influencers, all are there. So LinkedIn becomes important. Instagram, of course, goes with FB, but know exactly what the tricks of the trade inside that. Now, if you attend, we conduct the workshops, long duration, 5 hours, 6 hours. In that, we actually tell you, what are the tricks of the trade. You'll get to know. But this particular thing, I'll just limit myself to this. Referral marketing. Okay, so conducting referral programs with a few refer and reward kind of programs that will have a low investment and high traction. Affiliate marketing, when you are at that stage where you're not able to invest, you've not got the traction, you're not still selling, you're still in a you've not reached a break even and things like that. So affiliate marketing, create a space in your website or the landing page where you can actually have a plugin of related services and products which people can buy, and you can generate income through commissions, right? How does it matter? Till the time you need money, you need some money. So do that. Then email marketing, of course, that you don't lose. So you can start with MailChimp, okay? And as you are getting traction and you want to automate it, you can go on to ActiveCampaign, creating those email campaigns through ActiveCampaign. But MailChimp is good enough to start your email marketing. It doesn't cost much. It's a free tool for some time, all right? Then, of course, organically, while you're doing it, okay, you need to keep that budget, okay, 10,000, 20,000, 30,000, whatever you can afford. Have the campaigns done on FB and Insta, because we believe that whoever is there in LinkedIn is also there in FB. But LinkedIn, when it comes to inorganic, becomes very expensive proposition. So run campaigns in FB and Insta. They're low cost. But again, take the help of an expert, right? Because they are the ones who know if it is FB, what is A/B testing. They know what is custom audience. They know what is lookalike audience, when to introduce these at what stage, whether to run a awareness campaign, consideration campaign, or a conversion campaign. Okay, they will know. They will know exactly after understanding from you on your customer, the persona of your customer, they will be able to choose the targeting components very well, right? So please depend this part. The rest of the part you can do it yourself or within the in-house team. But this particular thing, you take the help of the expert. And YouTube. Now, can you believe it? The YouTube CPV is the lowest compared to any other platform. So with a small spend, there is tremendous, very high viewership that you get. Cost per view. Okay, that has been kept by this platform deliberately, because in YouTube is what customer gets to, what they see is what they get. That is the reason they're encouraging people to put the contents more and more on YouTube and drive the marketing campaigns there. And they kept the CPV low. All right. So I would suggest that you start off. So this does not cost you much. All right. And if you are able to, even if you have created the website, then you have to go in for the on-page SEO, off-page SEO that they're talking about. But start with this, generate traction, get the conversions, through the inorganic and organic mix of this, and then invest in other aspects. So now let us go to the startups with high budgets. Medium budgets. So in low budget, when you're spending, also be prepared that the COCA, the cost of customer acquisition, can be very high. That's all. So when you are spending in FB, as I said, FB and Insta, your cost of acquiring the customer can be high, but that's okay. That's okay at that time, because you've not built your credibility, build the trust and thing like that. But you're looking for sales, immediate sales, time-bound sales. It can still happen, right? So similarly, for the medium budget, I would say that they definitely need to have the website. Okay, and one-time efforts of doing the on-page SEO to get their quality score 85 plus. If it goes 90, bonus. Landing page for specific product promotions, because you might have a spread of products and services, but within that, what is moving fast, you might want to capitalize, optimize on that. So you might create a landing page, making the people focus on call to action purchases. So have all these three done, and while you're doing the personal branding, referral marketing, affiliate marketing, other stuff, get your off-page and social media postings done well. And here I would say that introduce other than the FB and Instagram, YouTube, you introduce AdWords and LinkedIn also. And LinkedIn I should have highlighted. In whatever small way, start the inorganic campaigns. Okay, AdWords is also very good. Google AdWords, very good platform, provides a lot of options. Mobile marketing becomes very easy to do. Everybody is on mobile these days. 90% of the people are these days taking action on the cell phone. So creating Google AdWord campaigns, I mean, you benefit, but it is slightly more expensive than and also, again, many other factors are there beyond this. Which industry that you are in, how competitive landscape looks for your products and services, right? So depending on that, your cost per click or cost per lead, all these things depends. Okay, but try and introduce AdWords here other than others. Okay, so here your cost of acquisition, customer acquisition, will be on a medium scale. Yeah, go ahead, Ashish. Yeah, so people, I mean, startups with sufficient budget, which I'm talking about, funded ones, okay, or they're already on a stage where they are, earning money, they're profitable. I would ask them to take complete advantage of the online platforms, organic and inorganic, right? While they do everything that a low budget guy or a medium budget guy does, important for them is to get into media buying also, other than this, media buying basically through display advertisement. Otherwise, search advertisement is what we are talking about so far. But apart from all these things, create an automated funnel. Ashish, if you can click on automated funnel, it will open. Oh, no, it will not. The link is with me. Okay, I wanted to share the funnel, how it works, but I guess we don't even have that much time. But create an automated funnel. I mean, it is very much possible, using many technologies that are available, which will give you lot of, right from garnering all the suspects into the funnel to converting them into prospects. I mean, that is warm and hot prospects, to converting them into customers. So there are three types of funnel that you can create. One is the acquisition customer funnel, activation funnel, and the monetization funnel. So there are technologies with ClickFunnels, let's say, for example, it provides you the complete funneling option, and which normally called as programmatic, funneling. So everything happens through technology. So while you subscribe for these technology tools to make the landing page, the cards, available to you, the conversion tools available to you, and also the emailing tools available, let's say Active. So you integrate all these things to the funnel, okay, and then straight away get the conversions done, I mean sales done. So I suggest at this stage, it is a little expensive proposition, because subscribing to the technology tools is one part of it. Then making a consultant integrate all these things, creating a blueprint. I mean, there are tools available to create, the complete landscape, the blueprint of this, and then design this particular funnel. Okay, integrate everything together. The consultant fees could be as high as, I mean, depends. Big companies will have big quotations, but at our level, I mean, we talk about 75,000 to 1.5 lakh for just consulting fees and integration fees, apart from the subscription for the tools and technology. But once you have done that, okay, then you're driving traffic. So you're spending money on driving traffic through various other sources, which I mentioned in phase 2. And the funnel also automatically triggers remarketing for people who go away without taking any decision. Okay, so once you're doing it, you are only seeing money coming into your bank account. That is in the e-commerce website. On B2B side, you're getting quality leads, better and better quality leads for your people to actually convert, right? And the conversion rates also increase. So I would suggest that is the strategy that you need to adopt. Now, apart from this, there are a few important things that you need to keep in mind. Okay, while actually preparing the roadmap and also executing it, I would say that get a digital marketing expert to help prepare a roadmap. It's good that we all believe that we know everything, but still try and get a digital marketing certified expert to actually help you. Now that you know, I mean, what is the mix that applies to your stage, whichever stage that you are in, you'll be able to drive the expert, play into the expert well, and let him do a roadmap along with you, right? Now, after having done that, when it comes to hiring the resources, freelancers are a boon. Use their services sparingly. Why? The reason I'm saying is, most often at this early stage startups, we have the tendency of succumbing because of the bootstrap situation and hiring the freelancer to do the job. Please understand that in this field, one person cannot be master of all the skills, but you need at least minimum 5 skills to get you results. Person, a developer, a SEO expert, okay, a social media expert, email and referral marketing, various other, and then PPC, the paid campaigns. You have to have a person good in that. So we normally do this mistake of hiring a freelancer and making him do everything and expecting results. It does not happen. But at the same time, the reason I am saying freelancers are boon is because even if you hire a agency which has all these skill sets, sometimes, I mean, you'll find, let's say, content writing, graphic designing, okay, video editing or video making. Some of these skills may not be there with them. Now, at that specific skill, you can use the freelancers, right? So otherwise, hire a small agency or a medium-sized agency who can actually execute. And that is also good for continuity of business. Now, this is out of experience, because in the initial days of my earlier businesses, or parallelly running businesses, I have succumbed to the same, freelancers, and been spending on them, know how, because it's a doctor-patient relationship. It's a long-term relationship. One fine day, the freelancer vanishes. What happens? One fine day, the freelancer falls sick. Okay, so I have experienced all these things, and then again to search for a good, a freelancer to do the same thing, it becomes very difficult. So it's better to go with an agency, and with these 5 skill sets minimum, and continue your business. You will not have any problem. Okay, define deliverables very clearly with them. Ashish, go back, please. Ashish? Yeah, sorry. So define deliverables very clearly. I mean, for every component, for every mix, have it. For example, I mean, on page SEO, ask them for a deliverable which is 85 plus as your score once they complete the on page SEO. Similarly, on other components, and evaluate based on periodical reports, of course, and then be open to changes in third-party dynamics, because as an agency, you're only facilitating, the third-party platforms. Sometimes their algorithm dynamics change, so the strategies that you as a digital marketing expert, adopts could change. So be a little open to that. Be a more little flexible. This will be only in terms of time frames. Okay, and then I think if you apply all these things well, I think you are 100% sure to achieve your targets. And in case you need any more drill down to this particular components which I have spoken about, strategies that I've spoken about, you can get in touch with me on adil@vdoeconsult.com. Okay, anytime, or through MentorCard. Okay, we will discuss more in details. Thank you very much. Yeah, Ashish, over to you. I hope I have not exceeded the time too much.
Yeah, but a lot of information. I think so. It is really helpful. Not only for early stage. I think so. You have talked about almost all the stages. So that's very important.
Low, medium, and high budget stages was only startups early stage.
Yeah, yeah. So that's very important. I think so. It was very helpful. I think we are already running a lot of time. I think 20 minutes. We're running more, so we'll take a leave from here. And I think so. We'll leave the audience with this presentation and thoughts and inputs what you have given. I'm sure this is going to be very helpful. The presentation, whosoever have been watching right now on the platforms, this will be there already and continue to be there on the YouTube and Facebook links, and even on LinkedIn. And I think so. People who will come later and watch that is also helpful for them. Taking it forward from here, Mr. Adil, thank you very much for joining us, and all the viewers who have been watching patiently. I see a couple of people are watching very, very seriously on that. So that is going to help. Thank you very much once again.
Thank you so much, Ashish. Thanks for having me. I look forward to more such sessions. Yeah. Thank you.
Absolutely.
And all the best to MentorCard. It's been a beautiful initiative. Fantastic initiative.
So I'm saying good that you touched upon that point. I forgot is that yes, MentorCard app is live now, and you can go ahead and download this from both the stores, and not only watch the content but have your own mentor. It's always important to have the mentors on your life at every stage, even if you are a student or a professional or an entrepreneur. Having a piece of advice from the people who have already done that in past is always helpful. Thank you very much, and goodbye.
Thank you.